Welcome to the 2015-2016 school year, Indian Hills. Our purpose today is to briefly highlight some key points of your student handbook with the understanding that it is your responsibility to understand the entire document, which is available to you online. We really do expect you to pay attention during this presentation and understand that you can get this entire document at any time through the district website. By now, I hope you know our school hours are from 7:35 to 2:35. We do ask that you arrive between 7:20 and 7:30. And once you're here, you're expected to stay here. You are considered truant if you would come and then leave. And another key point for morning hours are that if you want to see a teacher, please arrange that the day before. Our supervisors are glad to let you see a teacher. They just require a teacher pass. So A, teachers know that you're coming, and then B, our supervisors know that your teachers know. If you do arrive prior to 7:25, we ask that you report immediately to the Student Center to grab a seat and wait for breakfast and your classmates to arrive. At the end of the day, we expect our halls to be cleared by 2:50. That gives you 15 minutes to touch base with teachers and friends and to get out the door by that 2:50 mark. By 3 o'clock, we need you off school grounds. We do have athletic practices going on. We have after the bell going on. We do have detention going on. If you're in one of those places, you're fine. But if you're not, we need you gone by 3 o'clock. On Wednesdays, the times are earlier. We are out at 1:50. We do expect you to get out of the halls by 2 so teachers can get to meetings, and that you're off our grounds completely by 2:15. Each day, the scrolling announcements on the TVs will tell you whether it's an orange or a black day. Please pay attention to that, as well as the announcements at the beginning of Tiger Time. Your student planner does list your schedules daily and has a Wednesday schedule for you to look at as well. Most teachers have these schedules posted in their classrooms. If you're confused at all, please ask a teacher, especially in these early days. We want you where you need to be at the right time. Our next topic is absences and attendance. We want you here every day. If there are any extraordinary circumstances that you know are upcoming, that absences will be required for a trip, you really need to communicate not only with the office but also with your teachers in advance. Please attempt to minimize doctor's appointments during school hours. Again, we are out at 2:35. That gives you plenty of time to get to a doctor's office in the afternoon. It's important for you to understand that being in school is the law. You are required to be here, and we do a lot of work with Polk County Truancy Court to avoid excessive absences. We define those here at Indian Hills as missing 5 or more days per quarter, regardless of the reason. If you are in that boat, you will receive attendance letters from the office that are documented and filed, and also sent to Polk County Attorney's Office if needed. Parent conferences may be the first step of resolving any attendance issues. We also work with Polk County, who will send a mediator at times to come down and conference with you, counselors, administrators, to try to resolve any attendance problems that we have. We do ask you to please attempt to avoid vacations during the school year. If it is absolutely necessary, again, the key to that is communicating with all of your teachers. By now you have your student planner. They are required to be with you at all times. They have valuable information for you, important dates. They're used as your hall pass. They serve as a communication tool between your teachers and your parents. They also are, perhaps more importantly, your organizational tool to record daily and weekly assignments, so you don't have to rely on your memory, and so that you can learn to organize yourself, to keep deadlines, and give yourself reminders. Our next topic today is discipline. What you need to understand is that your rights end where somebody else's begin. Our teachers have the right to teach, and your classmates have the right to be in a safe environment while they teach. Your job is to obey teachers' guidelines as well as school policy to ensure the safety of all students. Progressive discipline is a term you see on the screen here. Basically what that means is the more trouble or the more serious offense that you have at school, the greater the consequences will be. The following slides will have some general rules about discipline here at Indian Hills. Oftentimes teachers will assign students detentions with themselves, with the teachers. However, frequently an issue does get to the office. If you are sent to the office, you are almost guaranteed a detention. Those will be assigned by the principal, the assistant principal, or secretaries. You are to begin those in the office. After school, you will be seated and taken to a detention room. Detentions will be made up after school every day, except for Wednesday. You also have the option for lunch at times, or the morning from 7:05 to 7:35 in the main office. You basically have that day or the day after a detention is assigned to make it up. That means they take precedence over an athletic or extracurricular practice. It's your job to tell your coach or your sponsor that you'll be late. Failing to make up those detentions can be something as simple as the detention being doubled, or can lead to suspension. We need you here, and we need you here on time. Being punctual is expected at Indian Hills. That being said, we do know that there are some challenges in the morning that perhaps are out of students' control. Because of that, we do give you one free tardy per quarter without penalty. Students who are late to start the day need to report to the office, get a tardy pass, and head to class as quickly as possible. After that freebie is used up, an office detention will be assigned if the tardy is unexcused. Oversleeping is not an excuse. Allow yourself extra time if it's a bad weather day, especially during the winter. We do try to be flexible with doctor's appointments, and if there's a reason why your parent has to keep you for unusual exceptions, we try to be flexible with that as long as it's not happening frequently. Again, here are your policies. Your first tardy is no penalty. You get a freebie per quarter. Times 2 through 4 is 30-minute detentions. 5 and 6 you have in-school suspension. The 7th tardy, we will have a parent meeting, either with or without Polk County present. Individual teachers do assign tardies oftentimes to periods 2 through 7. Oftentimes they'll call home, work with counselors and administrators, but after your 3rd detention, we do ask that teachers refer students to the office. Teachers will explain their rule regarding how they define a tardy. You need to, again, understand that the teacher's policy is the rule in that class. There are bells for each period, and they will tell you what their expectation is when that bell does ring. If you are tardy and fail to make up that tardy detention with the teacher, expect that time to be doubled in the office automatically. Some things we ask you not to bring to school or not to have out at certain times of the day are going to be covered next. Skateboards and rollerblades, please keep them off school grounds. Hats need to be off immediately as you walk into the building. Also, electronics need to be put away at that 7:25 bell. We do allow some cases where students can have study hall privileges with their music. However, that's up to the individual teachers. A change is at the end of last year was that students could use their electronics while they wait for that 7:25 bell. We will do that, but ask you at that 7:25 bell to put the electronics away. Candy is only allowed on special occasions or during lunch, and gum is never allowed in this building. Some obvious prohibited items: drugs, alcohol, tobaccos, or other lookalikes. We do realize that there are a lot of products out there, like vaping, that look like tobacco products. Those are treated just as tobacco products with our student handbook policies. Also, no guns, knives, chains, dangerous objects, or lookalikes. No pornographic materials or inappropriate language while at school. Our tobacco policy is outlined below. Your first offense with tobacco is a 1-day in-school suspension. Parents are notified. Your second is a 3-day in-school suspension. And your third offense is a 3-day out-of-school suspension. And you are referred to a student assistance program to get you help with an obvious problem. If you are caught using a tobacco product at school, your first offense is 1 day out of school. Your second offense is 1 to 10 days out of school until the Board of Education will meet and determine if you will be expelled. Our alcohol policies are outlined below. The first offense is an automatic 5-day out-of-school suspension, parent and police notification. You will be required to participate in a chemical evaluation before you return to school. A second offense is a 5 to 10 day out-of-school suspension. Again, we contact parents, obviously, and police, and then we recommend for expulsion, and the Board of Education determines your placement for education for the remainder of the year. Our distribution policies are outlined below. Please understand that this applies to alcohol, to a controlled substance or drug, or any look-alike. Our first offense is 5 to 10 days out of school. Again, parent, police get notified. Students are recommended for expulsion, and they participate in that chemical evaluation before returning to school. All of the above policies refer to being on school property or at a school-sponsored event 24/7, 12 months a year. If you come to school under the influence of alcohol or drugs, you'll be recommended for removal from school and placed in an alternative setting for 45 days. That's a quarter of the school year. A second offense would result in a 5 to 10 day window where the Board of Education would review your case. You'd be recommended for expulsion. Police would be involved, and a chemical evaluation is required before you'd ever return to school. Cheating or plagiarism is our next topic. Basically, it's a pretty simple policy. If you expect work for something, it's got to be your own. You can't take credit for somebody else's work. You can't copy somebody else's work. No credit will be given for students caught cheating or copying. If you prepare yourself properly, there's no reason to have to cheat or to copy. Our teachers are here to help you. They want to help you learn. Please seek them out if there's a concept you don't understand, rather than cheating or plagiarizing. We're next going to cover multiple ways that you can be suspended. Any breach or break of our discipline policies is suspendable. Again, we want to remind you that this document is available online and you can read it at your leisure at any time. Ignorance is no excuse for not understanding our discipline policies here at Indian Hills. You can be suspended or disciplined for conduct which disturbs the orderly operation of this building, for refusal to comply with staff, for a physical attack, for a verbal threat, for theft, for vandalism, for intimidation, for fire, for explosions, for harassing behavior. Please understand that many of those items listed will involve not only discipline policies through our school district, but also contact with Clive Police Department. If you would to bring a weapon or a look-alike or any dangerous object to school, federal law requires that that student be recommended to be expelled from school. Again, you will get that out-of-school suspension from 1 to 10 days while the Board of Education reviews your case. Those students are deemed incorrigible and whose presence can be considered threatening to injure the health or the moral of the student body here at Indian Hills. Any other student that hears rumors or suspicion of weapons or lookalikes are encouraged to report to the office or any other employee immediately to help ensure the safety of this building for everyone. Other circumstances that involve police involvement with students' discipline at Indian Hills can come across with threats and bullying behavior. We ask you to use some common sense. Under no circumstances should any student ever say anything or write anything about injuring or killing another person. It's illogical to say one's kidding and he didn't really mean it. Think before you talk, think before you write, think before you post. Otherwise, expect police involvement with those cases. All of those alleged statements are investigated thoroughly, oftentimes with the help of Clyde police. If you